Electric arc furnace. An electric arc furnace utilizes the heat of the electric arc generated between the two conducting materials to melt the charge. It is used for melting cast iron and steel. High thermal efficiency, rapid heating, close temperature control, and strict atmospheric control are the few characteristics of the furnace, which leads to production of a good quality metal. There are two types in arc furnace. First one is the direct arc electric furnace. Here the electrode comes in contact with the metal to create an arc. And second one is the indirect arc electric furnace. In this type of furnace, the electrode doesn't or never comes in contact with the metal to create an arc. Instead, the arc is struck between the electrodes. The figure shows the direct arc electric furnace. The construction here is the furnace consists of a heavy steel cylindrical shell with a spherical bottom lined with refractory bricks, and the walls are lined with magnesite bricks. The furnace is built on a tilting platform that facilitates tilting of the furnace forward for pouring the molten metal into ladles. The furnace can also be tilted backwards for inspection, charging, deoxidizes, etc., and for removal of the slag through the slag door. The roof of the furnace is made of steel shell lined inside with refractory bricks and can be clamped in position. Metal can also be charged from the furnace roof. The roof is provided with the three circular holes through which the non-consumable graphite electrodes are inserted. The electrodes can be raised and lowered by means of guides and are usually water cooled to dissipate heat. They are connected to a three-phase power supply as being shown in the figure. Now, the working principle of direct arc electric furnace is that the arc furnace works when an arc is struck between the electrode and charged material. The heat is generated due to the resistance of the metal charge. In the operation, the furnace is charged with the ingots, that is filled with ingots, steel scrap, alloy metals, and fluxing agents through the charging door. The electrodes are then lowered. On supplying the necessary current and the voltage, an arc is struck between the electrodes and the charged materials. The gap between the electrode and the charge is maintained by regulating the movement of the electrodes so that the arc will remain between them and burn continuously, melting the charge, that is the metal. The flux melts and forms a slag that floats on the surface of the liquid metal. Now, the slag prevents oxidation, refines the metal, and protects the furnace roof from excessive heat. After the liquid metal has achieved the desired temperature and electrodes have raised to extinguish the arc, the furnace is tilted backwards to remove the slag. The furnace is then tilted forward to pour the liquid metal into the ladles. Insulating powders are thrown into the ladles to prevent radiation loss of the liquid metal. The metal from the ladle is then poured into the molds. Indirect arc electric furnace. Figure shows an indirect arc electric furnace used for melting small quantities of ferrous and non-ferrous metals. The construction of this indirect arc electric furnace is the furnace consists of a cylindrical or a barrel shaped steel lined with the refractory material. Now, the shell is mounted on the rollers and can be tilted to 180 degrees. The rollers here. This facilitates for easy pouring of the liquid metal into the ladles. Also, the rollers provide rocking action to the furnace that speeds the melting rate and stirs the molten metal. Two consumable carbon electrodes are mounted along the horizontal axis and can be automatically adjusted for maintaining proper arc column. A charging door and pouring spout serve their usual purpose. So it's shown over here, partially shown over here. Now the working process, the ingot, the steel scrap and the alloy metals fluxing agents are input into the furnace. On supplying the necessary current and voltage, an arc is struck between the two non-consumable carbon electrodes. Now the carbon electrodes are brought closer together and they are maintained so that the arc remains between them. The charge then melts by the radiation from the heat that is being produced due to the arc, and also by conduction of the heat absorbed by the refractory lining. Now once the metal melts, the furnace is rotated to and fro. This helps the refractory lining to get heated up. So along with that, the molten metal gets exposed to the larger area of the heated lining. Also, rocking stirs the molten metal homogeneously. When the liquid metal reaches the desired temperature, the furnace is tilted mechanically and the liquid metal is tapped into the ladles and poured into the molds through this door.